What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rec Nation. Listen, guys, today we have an Unvaulted video from Embrace the Suck 21. This is our reaction to the most gangster politician ever, Cassius Marcellus Clay. Now, this was an absolute phenomenal story, okay? So listen, sit back, enjoy. Guys, remember, we are going to be getting to new content. You know, I told you guys we're going to be kind of interlacing some stuff while the Fat Electrician reactions slowly just start coming over here on this channel. So I'm just letting you guys know that's what's going on. I appreciate the patience, appreciate the love and support you guys have shown for this channel. Absolutely phenomenal. We still have to get to our Battle 360 and so many other things, honestly. So, but you know what the good thing is, though? Very soon we will dedicate the time on the channel. I think within the week you will see I will upload Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and our premieres for Battle 360 will be on a Sunday afternoon. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoy the reaction. Much love. Thank you so much. Again, make sure you unplug and do something legendary, and I'll see you all in the next video. Later, guys. What's going on, everybody?
Alright, y'all, we are back doing some more of our buddy, the Fat Electrician.
Come on.
And, Dan, this is one that you wanted to do.
After seeing ones we watch, I just wanted to binge it all. Because he is up there with master storytellers. I would put him up there with Mr. Ballin. You know, if you don't know who that is, he's just the creepy story guy, right? Great storyteller, man. Oh, my God.
Maybe that's another rabbit hole.
Oh my God, it's nuts. But he does a great job conveying history, I would say lesser known.
Most people don't know what Fat Electrician's talking about until here, and probably would never know who Cassius Marcellus Clay is.
Hey man, all I know is Cassius Clay was Muhammad Ali's name. So he was named. If he was named after this guy, holy crap, we'll see. But
all right,
it was Cassius Clay, right? Cassius Clay changed his name to Muhammad Ali, I think. So yes, let's do it.
Let's see how he's the most gangster politician ever.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
It's a riveting story. It was really good. All right, we gotta go. I gotta tell the internet about the guy I named you after, okay? You gotta go hang out with Mom now. Today we're talking about the most gangster politician in American history. Ladies and gentlemen, Cassius Marcellus Clay, aka the Lion of Whitehall. Whitehall being his family home that he grew up in Kentucky as the son of one of the richest slave owners in all of America. While going to college at Yale to become a lawyer, he would attend a speech from a famous abolitionist by the name of William Lloyd Garrison, and that speech would change the entire trajectory of Cassius Clay's life as well as American history. It is at that moment that Cassius Clay decided he was not only going to be quietly opposed to slavery, but that he was actively going to fight against it. He would be set down the path to become the most influential abolitionist of all time. Oh God, forgot to do the ad. Hold on. Sorry for bothering the video. Real quick, this video is brought to you by the biggest sponsor of the channel and my favorite sporting goods store, Shields. They've got over 30 retail locations across the United States and an even better online store that I'm going to have linked down below, and if you use my code, you're going to get free shipping. They've got everything you could imagine there. This is where I got this shirt. It's where I got this backpack. All of it was on sale. It was a great deal. Again, use my code down below. You're going to get free shipping. Back to the video. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot to mention, Muhammad Ali's original name was Cassius Clay. Yeah, he was actually named after this guy too. Anyways, back to the video. Bye-bye. If you don't know...
There you go. There you go.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, cool.
You were 100% right before we got into this.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So that's nuts. He was the son of a slave owner.
And was quietly against slavery and fought the good fight for that.
Okay, man. That's nuts. It'd be like if you were the son of never mind. I don't need like let's say we're like the son of someone that worked at a Ford, owned Ford, right? And then you're like hate vehicles. You know, you're opposed to view. Like, I know that's a terrible analogy, but I'm just saying that's nuts in the family.
Yeah,
that's like two fucking extremes.
Or maybe you're like a son of a McDonald's, a global billionaire, and you start a health food.
Yeah, do like that. Be like, what? Okay, all right.
No, at this point in time, there's basically two different camps you could fall into for being anti-slavery. You could be an abolitionist or an emancipationist. An emancipationist is somebody that wants to vote it out over time, over the next 5, 10, 20 years, versus an abolitionist, which is somebody that believes we need to end slavery right now, and they're willing to fight about it. And in the case of Cassius Clay, he was willing to fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. You see, Cassius Clay wasn't just some nobody punk kid that went off to college and decided that he didn't like slavery. This was the son of one of the wealthiest slave owners in all of America. So for him to come out and voice anti-slavery views was a huge deal, and it pissed off a lot of people. So, being that this was the 1820s, what do you do when you're pissed off? You challenge somebody to a duel. So needless to say, the young Cassius Clay found himself partaking in an awful lot of duels, and he never ever lost. So, obviously, he's pretty good at it, and what do you do when you find something you're pretty good at? You want to keep doing it, right? Right. Yeah. So Cassius Clay starts challenging anyone and everyone to a duel that dares to oppose him. It became common knowledge in his community that Cassius Clay would be willing to fight the wind if it blew from the west and he wanted it to blow from the east. This man went on a dueling rampage, so much so that by the time he graduated college, he was considered to be the deadliest duelist in all of North America. This guy was putting slave owners in the dirt like he was Johnny Appleseed planting fucking trees. He became known as the deadliest abolitionist of all time. So he graduates from college, goes back home as a lawyer. Shortly after that, his father passes away and leaves everything to Cassius Clay. Cassius Clay immediately frees all of his father's slaves, costing himself $40,000, which is roughly $2 million today. And then he even gives some of the slaves land and money on top of it. Absolutely infuriating the pro-slavery people in Kentucky. So what do you do when half the local population hates your guts? You run for public office, and that's exactly what Cassius Clay did. He served in the Kentucky State Legislature from 1835 to 1841, and then finally lost his re-election, to which the pro-slavery crowd breathed a huge sigh of relief because they finally defeated Cassius Clay, or so they thought. Clay immediately...
Before we get to that second part, that's the type of person that needs to run for office, someone who's pissed off half the population.
Love that, dude. Love that. So, like, man, simpler times. Simpler times then, man. Hey, you don't like me? Want to risk it? You know? I'll kill you. Yeah. I'll kill you. Like just, hey, the problem over.
What would be more humiliating? Being beat in a fight by Cassius Clay, or the fact that he represents you in the state legislature or Congress?
Dude, it's just a simpler way to handle disputes. Duel it. There can only be one person walking away from a duel.
Exactly. Come on.
Yes.
Immediately starts traveling the country, giving amazing anti-slavery speeches, winning over hearts and minds, and this absolutely infuriates the pro-slavery people because they don't know how to stop him. You can't legally stop a guy from talking to people that want to listen to him, and they can't legally kill Cassius Clay in a duel because he's the best duelist on earth. What do? You've got to illegally kill him. The problem with that is they can't find a hitman that's dumb enough to think that they can take out Cassius Clay, so they have to go to the one crevice of the planet where they can find somebody truly insane enough to think that they can do this job. And that man's name was Sam Brown, an assassin from New Orleans. 1834, Russell Cave, Kentucky. Cassius Clay's finishing up one of his world-famous speeches as he pulls out a burlap sack. He reaches into the sack and pulls out a holy Bible and says, "For those of you that believe in the laws of God, I make to you this argument against slavery." Sets the Bible on the table. Reaches back in the sack, pulls out a copy of the U.S. Constitution, and says, "For those of you that believe in the laws of man, I present to you this argument against slavery." Sets the Constitution down on the table. Drops a burlap sack to the ground and says, "For those of you that believe in neither the laws of God or man, I make to you this argument against slavery," as he pulls out both of his pistols and sets them on the table, which I think we can all agree is gangster as fuck. And at this moment, Sam Brown comes up on stage and shoots Cassius Clay point blank in the chest. Luckily, Cassius Clay never leaves home without his trusted Bowie knife, which resides inside of a metal sheath, and that metal sheath would catch Sam Brown's bullet, saving Cassius Clay's life. At which point, Cassius Clay would draw his Bowie knife and charge Sam Brown. 6 of Sam Brown's friends in the audience tried to stop Cassius Clay. He would fight his way through all 6 of them, making his way to Sam Brown, promptly stabbing him in the chest, and then turning him into a Mr. Potato Head by cutting off his nose, lopping off his ear, and gouging out one of his eyes. Then the 6 men recovered and were able to peel Clay off of him. Not knowing what to do, knowing they couldn't stop Cassius Clay forever, they panicked, probably for fear that Cassius Clay was going to start shoving this guy's facial features up his ass next. They did the only thing they could come up with to get the two apart. They picked up their friend Sam Brown, threw him over over a 7-foot-high stone wall, he fell down an embankment and into a creek bed to finally get Cassius Clay away from him. Somehow, Sam Brown survived, but not only was he lucky for that, he was also dumb as fuck because he then decided to take Cassius Clay to court because apparently after Cassius Clay stabbed him the first time, they were even on the whole assassination attempt thing, so Cassius Clay should go to prison for mayhem. So Cassius Clay calls upon his older cousin, one of the best lawyers on the planet that had never lost in open court with over 40 years of experience, Henry Clay. Henry Clay goes into court and his entire defense for his cousin is, and I quote, "Your Honor, this is just standard behavior for a Kentuckian." And the judge is just like, "You're innocent. Free to go. That's it. Best court case ever." Literally.
Good God, there's so much to unpack here.
God, dude.
The assassination attempt, the knife, right where this guy, Sam Brown, I think his name is, shot him.
Oh my God, dude.
That's pure luck right there. Or just pure badassery for always carrying the knife in the correct place. Oh,
and then he just goes like ape shit on him. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. And they had to I couldn't just have that mental image. You know how like you and your friends maybe get into a fight and you try to break it up. Well, what happens when you can't break it up? And they resort to throwing their friend over a wall. The one who's like stabbed, has no eye and has no nose or whatever ear. They're like, fuck it, throw him over the wall.
Yeah.
To get him away. Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah. And the judge lets him walk.
Yeah. Like, hey man, this guy tried to kill you and apparently you didn't kill him, so looks like he got away.
Yeah. And his argument, Henry Clay's argument was, that's just normal Kentucky behavior right there.
Fair enough. I see your point. Done. Free to go. Nuts.
Good God.
Oh, I loved stuff back then.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Just no freaking rules, man. Or not as many. Shoot.
Oh, man.
Walks in and just goes,
"I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America."
So after Cassius Clay was found innocent, Henry Clay decides that he's going to run for president and Cassius is going to help him campaign. Cassius is going to tour the country giving speeches saying, hey, vote for my cousin. Here's the rule with that. Henry Clay told him he's only allowed to tour the northern states because he's actually legitimately concerned that if he sends Cassius to the south, he's going to shoot so many fucking slave owners in duels that it could be considered voter fraud. So Henry Clay ends up losing the presidential election and Cassius moves on to his next life adventure, which is becoming an author and writing anti-slavery news articles. The problem with that was none of the newspapers were willing to publish him, so he says, fuck you, I'll start my own newspaper, The True American. Now, as I'm sure you can imagine, starting an anti-slavery newspaper in fucking Kentucky in 1845 was not very popular, and his business would receive death threats pretty much every day, some of which were written in blood. So Cassius Clay, in true Cassius Clay fashion, says, fuck it, I guess we're gonna fight about it. He then proceeds to up-armor his entire business and his printing office. He covers the entire front of the office in a large iron sheet. He installs several cannons down corridors, stocks the entire thing with loaded guns, and rigs it to explode. Here's the thing, he also doesn't expect his employees to fight to the death for him, so he installs an escape hatch and instructs them to escape if anything goes down, because he's gonna fight the entire mob by himself. How's he gonna do that? As soon as you walk in the only door to get into that printing office, you find yourself in a long, narrow corridor with iron on each side, just wide enough for a single man to get through. Cassius Clay is gonna stand in that narrow corridor and fight the entire mob one man at a time. Literally the mentality of, if you have a problem, take a number, I'll kill you in a minute. This man recreated the entire battle of fucking Thermopylae with 300 Spartans, except he's gonna do it all by himself. If you think fucking with John Wick's dog is a bad idea, the last thing you want to do is fuck with Cassius Clay's printing press, because this man is determined to defend the freedom of speech with the right to bear arms at any cost. Obviously,
this seems like your kind of guy, man.
This man's my hero. What? He just built different, man.
Jeez.
He's just like he went to fight for the right reasons. And he was like, fuck you guys. I'm either slaying you or you're just getting out of my way.
Man, if you're like, I'm probably going to say something controversial here, but if you go to the most MAGA Republican place in America and open up an LGBTQIA plus safe space, like, I think that's how you gotta defend it, is every single booby trap ever.
Yeah,
And escort
or
people in.
anything MAGA related in, let's say, one of those Californian hipster dipster places.
Yeah, San Francisco probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those. You
Yeah.
know?
Or Portland. That's in Oregon, but
Yeah,
still.
Portland. Yeah,
Yeah.
but man, that's nuts. It's
Yeah.
nuts, man.
Yeah, that's this man is my hero.
Oh man,
Cassius Clay. Cassius Clay, sorry. Ugh.
This escalates to Cassius Clay defeating an entire mob single-handedly. Right? Wrong. The mob, being full of, super brave pro-slavery men that know they're doing the right thing, do the honorable brave thing and wait till Cassius Clay is bedridden with typhoid fever, so they know he isn't going to show up. They show up to his business at night and burn the place to the ground because they're a bunch of fucking bitches. Now, Cassius Clay recovers from typhoid fever. He reestablishes a newspaper in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is an anti-slavery stronghold. The only problem with that is being an anti-slavery stronghold, there's not going to be any conflict, and that's fucking boring, so Cassius Clay moves on to another life adventure, volunteering in the Mexican-American War. While serving in the Mexican-American War, he would be a captain leading a group of Kentucky soldiers, and they would be captured pretty much immediately, and he would spend the duration of the entire war as a POW. While serving as a POW, some of the men under his command would escape, meaning that the Mexican military was then going to put the rest of his unit to death. Cassius Clay said, "Hey, don't kill my men. Just kill me and my other fellow officers. We're the ones in charge. It's our fault that those men escaped. It's our responsibility. Please let the lower enlisted men go home." The Mexican military was so impressed by this that they decided to spare everyone, including Cassius Clay, and he would return home a war hero. Returning home from the war in 1848, he didn't really know what to do, so he starts giving his famous speeches again, this time leveraging his newfound title as a war hero. So obviously it doesn't take long for him to piss everybody off. He faces yet another assassination attempt. This time, 6 brothers from a wealthy slave-owning family show up, the Turner brothers. They show up with clubs and knives and guns, and they beat the living shit out of Cassius Clay with the clubs. They stabbed him multiple times. Cassius Clay whips out his trusted Bowie knife, starts opening up these brothers like they're fucking Amazon packages, making his way to the lead brother and stabbing him an excessive amount of times. We don't know how many times, but we do know it was a lifetime supply. Killing the lead brother, ending the assassination attempt, Cassius Clay would fall to the ground, nearly dead, and this would be the closest anybody ever came to actually killing Cassius Clay. When he was asked about it later on in life, all he said was, "I felt the utmost indignation," which translates to, "I was fucking annoyed." This man almost died.
That's putting it lightly.
Wow, man. I love that. I love that phrasing. He was stabbed a lifetime amount. A lifetime I love that. Oh shit. Man,
come on.
Hey, don't go after him, man. You
Yeah,
don't go
yeah.
after him. Just
You
don't fuck with him
You don't fuck with Cassius Clay.
at all, unless you're ready to lose limbs or life.
Yeah. Shoot.
Simple. Jesus Christ.
From an assassination attempt, and he has the same attitude towards it that I have towards fucking fruit flies, okay? This dude is so metal, he deserves his own spot on the periodic table of elements. Cassius Clay then makes a full recovery from his injuries, starts giving his speeches again. 1853, he donates a large chunk of his land to John Fee, who uses it to found Berea College, the first co-educational and multiracial college in the South ever. Fast forward to 1860, Cassius Clay is giving speeches in Illinois where he meets a politician by the name of Abraham Lincoln, and they get along great. Cassius Clay is then slotted to become Abraham Lincoln's vice president. However, he's a little bit too Cassius Clay to be an actual big-name politician like that, so they give the job to Hannibal Hamlin, and Cassius Clay becomes the ambassador to Russia. 1861 rolls around, the Civil War breaks out, Cassius Clay is in Russia. Cassius Clay not only convinces Russia to not side with the Confederates, but he convinces Russia to tell Great Britain and France that if they so much as recognize the Confederacy, Russia will go to war with them.
Wow.
And this was a humongous step that nobody talks about in the winning of the Civil War. And it is 100% because of Cassius.
Wow.
That's nuts. That's nuts. You know how big that, because if the UK and or France recognized the southern states of America, they would have gotten funding, and that's nuts that they didn't recognize the South, because all their cotton and everything came from the South, not really the North.
Right, and had both UK and France recognized the South, they would have been blown to smithereens by Russia. Hell yeah, Cassius Clay.
Wow.
Yes. Hell yeah.
How come I've never heard about this dude?
This never gets talked about.
Oh my God.
See,
What
this
the
is why
hell?
we keep that electrician on the channel, is to learn more about the bits of American history, the juicy parts of American history.
Where's this guy's movie?
Yeah, give this
Goodness
man
gracious.
a TV show.
Oh
Like,
my God.
yeah, yeah, that would be a movie I would watch. Like,
Oh my God, that's
that
nuts.
that would be on the level of like Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Fucking, I would see that so. Oh, I'd probably see that's a multiple viewership movie right there.
Yeah, yeah. Woo.
Clay. Fast forward to 1862. Abraham Lincoln wants to appoint Clay a major general in the Union Army. Cassius Clay publicly refuses the President of the United States, saying that he's not going to do it until the President signs the Emancipation Proclamation freeing the slaves of the South. Cassius Clay is literally the man that bullied Abraham Lincoln into prematurely signing the Emancipation Proclamation before he wanted to. And nobody talks about it. Fast forward again to 1865, the Union wins the Great American Scrimmage, the slaves are freed. Cassius Clay has achieved his lifelong goal at the age of 55, bringing an end to slavery in the United States of America. He then goes back to Russia again to serve as ambassador until 1869, and while he is there, he helps to broker the purchase of Alaska. This man is probably the most influential person in American history that you've never heard of. After returning home from Russia, Cassius Clay would live out the...
Dude, so he bullied Lincoln into signing the Emancipation Proclamation early.
What?
And negotiated the purchase of Alaska.
Which is the like just a win.
Yeah.
Getting Alaska from the Russians was a win. Like, so what he is he's Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
He's just in all of history somewhere.
Yeah.
He's just in all of it. Whatever
Yeah.
it is, he's just part of it. Nuts.
Yeah. Dude, this man needs his own movie, Cassius Clay.
What the hell, man?
Come on, Netflix.
Like,
make it happen.
Like, dude. Okay, so he's integral, basically made Russia bully the UK and Northern Europe, right?
Yeah.
And then on the back end of it, he secures Alaska for the US.
Wow.
Nuts.
Oh my God. Wow.
Nuts, man.
Ugh.
Person in American history that you've never heard of. After returning home from Russia, Cassius Clay would live out the rest of his days in Whitehall until the age of 80 years old, where he would be declared clinically insane, in hindsight, most likely due to a severe amount of PTSD, as well as potentially dementia. He didn't die from it, he lived on for quite a bit longer. He just picked up a new hobby of fucking with the local sheriff because he was crazy now. Over the course of the next decade, Clay and the sheriff would have multiple run-ins that would be concluded when the sheriff and 7 deputies were repelled from Whitehall when Clay utilized his home defense cannon that he had at the top of his stairwell. At that point, the local sheriff would inform the local judge he will not be returning to Whitehall to tangle with Cassius Clay anymore unless the judge was willing to dispatch an entire company of the local militia to accommodate him. Then in 1900, 2 men would break into Whitehall, and Cassius Clay at the age of 89 would manage to kill both of them, one by gunshot and one, yet again, with his trusted Bowie knife. Then in 1903, at the age of 92, Cassius Clay would die of natural causes, or as they called it back then, general exhaustion, which is the most gangster way on the planet to go out. Literally just, I'm tired now, peace. And then he left.
I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
Just what you said. Forrest Gump. He was the Forrest Gump of American history in the 1800s. Wow.
And he killed 2 people that broke in at what, 80? What, 82?
89. Yeah.
What? He repelled the sheriff with a cannon. Could you imagine? That's like some redneck Dukes of Hazzard kind of shit right there. The sheriff shows up at your doorstep. I got this fucking cannon, man. Like, what? What? He has a cannon inside of his house?
Damn,
Bro.
son. Damn.
Oh.
This man is my hero. It's another man. I've said this before, but you keep friends with him. You stay on his good side no matter what.
Jesus Christ.
He can
Jesus
get
Christ.
you out of situations.
I like this, man. I like this. Like, he just spotlights a good old American main character energy. Like, fucking
That's it.
what? Oh man, like everyone else was in Cassius Clay's movie. Like
Yeah.
that was it. They were just
Right,
featured. Abraham
Right.
Lincoln was a
Yeah.
featured person in his, was a cameo in his movie. Nuts, man.
Damn.
In conclusion, when it comes to famous historical household names, there's always another man or woman lurking behind the scenes in the shadows that's deemed too rough around the edges to be in the spotlight, yet they contribute just as much, if not more, to the movement. These men and women are willing to do horrific things for terrific reasons, and when it came to Abraham Lincoln and the abolition of slavery, that man's name was Cassius Marcellus Clay, the most gangster politician in American history. Thanks for watching the video. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Was there something at the end? No, there
No.
wasn't. Not that time. Got criticized for last time for not letting it play through. So
Now we know this guy hides post-credit shit. So there we
yeah,
go.
I guess in a more older, younger ones, I should say. But hey,
Man.
Cassius Marcellus Clay, my hero.
Yes. The American badass. What?
I love
Dude.
American badasses.
What happened? Why can't they talk about him?
Because he's too rough around the edges.
That's what history is, isn't it?
That's reality. We're not
Nuts,
all
man.
sunshines and rainbows.
Jesus Christ. I wish I would have known about him. That would have perked my ears up in history class.
Wouldn't have slept through every history class except for sophomore year where I had a fun teacher. Shout out to Mr. Freeman. Other than that, man,
That's nuts.
this is what we need to be learning about.
Man. Jesus, that's awesome. Oh my God, I like this guy. And if you guys are watching this for the first time, make sure you check his channel out.
We've done 2 other reactions to him, and let us know which one you want us to check out next, because y'all have come out in droves for it, which really surprised us. And if y'all keep showing up, we'll keep
having them on,
churning them out.
because it's hard for me not to binge them.
Right.
But I will promise you, I will be chomping at the bit to get to the next one. So,
I'm with you. I'm with
man, Jesus.
you. Anyway, y'all, so around to subscribe and watch another video. What now, Dan?
Unplug and do something legendary.
See you next time.
Later.
Fellas, we could be that mistake. Let's do this.